We're going to begin laying down, and you didn't see this setup. I've just doubled over a blanket. I've got a nice thick support underneath the tailbone and putting the legs in Baddha Konasana. So you feel like the head of the femur is supported, more restful for the hip. Finding the length of your spine and a particular attention to your upper back of your neck. And finding your breath. And in the last moments of this supported posture, really letting the belly relax, the lower back, the pelvis. Good, and then bring both the legs in and take the support out from underneath. We're going to have the knees over the hips and take your left leg along the floor straight. Good, and lift the lower right leg up so you've got a right angle. And we're going to start making some little circles with the knee, but without rocking from side to side in the pelvis. So you might notice that you're using core awareness to limit the rocking movement of the body. We're using muscles that help us lift our legs to make the circles, good, and go in the other direction. It doesn't have to be a huge circle, whatever your hip can manage without rocking the body. Good, and then bring both legs in, plug them in. Press the lower back. Good, and then right leg out along the floor and left knee over the hip and right angle. And we'll make circles, but we don't rock the body at all. So there's a stillness, not employing other muscle or other parts of the body, focusing on the core and on the hip. So try to limit that rocking feeling in the pelvis. The lower leg stays straight. Other direction. Doesn't have to be a particularly big circle. Honing into that part of the body. Hips and core. Nice. And then hug both knees. Good. Have both knees above the hips and the the knees at right angles. Good. And take the arms straight up from your shoulders and press your lower back into the floor. Good. And they don't have to be the full movement, just whatever feels good. But the right arm reaches back, the left leg straightens. The right arm reaches back. Sorry, I keep getting the words wrong. Left arm reaches back, right leg straightens. So we just keep alternating. Right arm reaches back, left leg straightens. Okay, now we've got the movement going. Keep the lower back pressing. And just notice if you're employing other muscle in your body. Maybe your neck feels tense, your throat. Make the movement smaller so that you can really hone them in to the core. Pressing your lower back. Neck relax. Good. And then release and hug your knees in and rocking a little bit from side to side. Good. Both feet on the floor, hip width parallel. Just rest your arms down beside you with the palms up. As you exhale, press your lower back into the floor. And as you inhale, lower back away. We're going to keep moving the lower part of the spine and the core with the breath. Add a little more as you press your spine. Lift your heels a little bit off the floor. Place the feet back down in a relaxed way when you lift the spine. Press any amount that feels good, your back into the floor. Lift your heels, so hold your back down to the floor. Lift your heels, but notice, are you tense around your shoulders, your neck, and throat? So pressing the back, relaxing the neck. Heels are a little bit off the floor. Feel as you slowly take the weight of the feet off the floor, what happens in the core of the body, and keep the shoulders relaxed. You can lift both feet all the way free of the floor, just a centimeter or so. Good, and then place them back. Let's do that again slowly. So pressing your lower back. Lift your heels to start with, and just check in. We're trying to keep the neck relaxed. Throat relaxed. Enjoying each satisfying breath. Now notice as you start to really engage the core muscles, your neck and shoulders relax, but try to take all of the weight of the feet off the floor. Good. And then completely relax. Let's do the same thing with the arms overhead this time. So take the arms overhead and the palms will be facing up. Good, and we'll press the lower back and lift the heels. And again, try to keep the throat, the chest, everything else relaxed. But we're really going to engage the core of the body, the core awareness, and see if you can lift the whole weight of the feet off the floor. Throat relaxed. Good, and then releasing and hug your knees in and rock a little bit inside. Nice work. You can roll to your side to come onto all fours, or you can cross your feet at your ankles and roll on all fours. Stretch your fingers out wide. A little bit of rocking back. You can make the movement bigger if you like, if that feels good. Take the hips all the way back. Even take the hips all the way forward so you're in a sort of upward dog. posture. Or you can make smaller movements, paying attention to the weight in the hands, the fingerprint. To the movement of your spine. Good. And then back to center. Walk your knees together. Pick up your left hand and your right knee, and we're going to try and touch the knee and the elbow. And then we're going to reach them out and look forward. Good. And then knee and elbow, same side, and reaching forward. We're going to do 2 more. Keep pressing the fingerprint. Good. And then we'll pick up the left knee and the right elbow, elbow, knee, and then reach the left leg out behind, the right leg out in front, and then elbow to knee. Good. And then releasing that side and come into forward virasana. So big toes are touching, knees are out wide, so that there's room for the belly, room for the chest. Reaching the fingertips forward. Feel the satisfying breath. And then we're going to come up into downward facing dog pose. So stretch the fingers out wide, tuck the toes under. Have the heels high and the knees bent to begin with. And sway the hips from side to side. Now, when you do that, you're going to feel the lengthening in the body through the armpits, the side of the ribs. And we want to encourage that length from the wrists to the hips. Keep the shoulders wide. Just let your head hang down and feel the flow of the breath. Good. Fingerprints are pressing. Walk the inside edges of the feet together. Press the heels down to the floor and then bend your knees and lift the heels and take the chest towards the front of the leg. And we're going to keep going with that movement. Press the heels down to the floor and then relax the stretch in the leg. Press the heels down, relax the stretch in the legs, but stretch the chest and the armpits. And stretch the heels down. Good. And then we're going to release back into forward virasana. Take the hands forward a little more, the shoulder blades back a little more, top of the head forward. Good. Relax your arms beside you for a moment and squeeze your fists or fingers into fists. Squeeze and release and squeeze and then relax your shoulders and your arms. I might stick a little spot. Good. And then bring the arms forward and back up into downward facing dog pose. So stretch the fingers out nice and wide. Press the fingerprints. Walk the inside edges of the feet together. It's a little bit different. We're going to lift the heels high, bend the knees, but open the chest. Relax the neck. Good. And now press your heels down.
Good. And we're going to lift the right leg up behind. I'm hoping you've got room. And we're going to start to make little circles with that leg. And again, we're employing the muscles around the hip and the core of the body, but we're not wobbling the rest of the body. So they don't have to be big circles. Go for smaller if that gives you more control. Other direction. Good, and then releasing that side. And the second side, lifting up the left leg. So little circles with that leg. Make sure your neck is really relaxed. They don't have to be big circles. But we're trying not to wobble the rest of the body. Other direction. Good, and then pressing both heels down, and we're going to walk forward, so little tiny steps forward so that you can come up to standing whenever that becomes apparent. Good. Change sides of the mat again because I've put my clock, changed my clock again. All right. Facing the front of your mat, I'm going to take the arms up and look up. Good. And as you exhale, bring your hands into the front of the hip crease, bend your knees, and hinging forward. Uttanasana. Good. Really lift the pelvic floor and feel the work of the abdomen as you roll up. And then take the arms up and look up. Good. Hands by your sides, Tadasana. Roll the upper arms out and the palms in. Feel the feet under the hips. Grounded. Do that again. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, you're just going to bring your fingertips into the front of the hip crease. Bend your knees and hinge forward at the hip. Feel the bones of the spine embedding into the front of the torso rather than stretching up towards the ceiling. To feel the furthest movement you have there in your range so that the back of the legs are stretching to appear somewhere, but you still can feel your back bend, so your back is at ease. Good. And then to lift up, feel that engagement of the pelvic floor. Lift it into your body. Feel the lower front abdomen pressing into the middle or the core of the body and roll up. And arms up. Good. And for your Tadasana, keep the upper arms rolled out. Palms turn in. Feel the grounding of your feet. One more forward bend. Inhale. Arms up. Look up. As you exhale, bring the fingertips into the front of the hip crease. And we keep that easy feeling in the spine. Going forward. Good. Hinge forward. Find your limit of movement there. And see if you can straighten your legs. Lifting your kneecaps. As you lift up, really feel the lift of the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen, that engagement of the core. Beautiful. Inhale, come up. Urdhva and Tadasana. Upper arms roll all the way out, so chest is forward, has volume. Great. Now we're going to step whichever foot back brings you to look at your device so that you're wide-legged into your mat. So your feet are about as wide as your leg is long for some standing poses. We're going to do Trikonasana first. Turn your right foot out at 90 degrees and your left foot in. And I'll look opposite. And just double check on your alignment there. Heel lines up with the center of the left foot inner arm. And stretch your arms out. And we're going to approach this moving with the breath. So you're going to reach out in one direction and then lift back up. And feel that engagement of the core of the body when you lift up. And then reach in the other direction, so over the back leg. And then lift back up. Feel the engagement in the core of the body. As you exhale, reaching over your front leg, your right leg. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale. Feel that the legs are strong and straight and you're lifting your kneecap. Chin from side. Okay, next time you reach out over your right leg, we're going to reach and hold. So take your right hand down on your leg. Put your left hand on your hip, left hip. And see if we can roll the left hip a little bit more. Really strong in the legs, lifting the kneecaps. Feel that engagement of the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen, so that we have a lot of core strength supporting the spine. And try and drop your right rib down a little more towards the floor. Good. And roll your left rib back. And look up at the ceiling past the left foot. Find the breath. Good. And you can take your left arm up to the ceiling if it feels okay, or you can keep it on your hip. Roll your right upper arm out. Feel broad across the Good. And then inhale and come up. Nice work. We're going to swap sides so the feet are facing the other direction. Keep your alignment between the heel and the center of the back foot inner arm. Strong, straight leg. We're going to reach the left arm and reach over the left leg. And using your core awareness, really engage the core of the body to lift up. And then reach back over the right leg. Good. And we're going to keep going from side to side. Feeling the vitality of the breath. And awareness of the core. So this is a difficult movement for the spine, but we're moving with support. Good. The next time you reach out over your left leg, take your left hand down and put your right hand in, so that we can work with a little bit more awareness about the direction of the hip. Good. So we feel that internal muscular support of the core. We're going to try and roll the right hip back. See if you can open your left rib towards the floor a little more. Strong, straight leg. Good. And if everything feels okay, take your right arm up. And really reach. Energizing the body with it. Good. And core awareness as you lift up. You feel that real support. Nicely done. Bring the hands back to the heart. Turn the feet to the front. We're going to turn the toes out and drop the hips into the goddess posture. Really lift the pelvic floor and the lower front abdomen. We need that lift. even though the hips are dropping. Good, and just a little bit of swaying from side to side. One leg might be getting towards straight or straight, the other leg will bend. As long as it feels okay on your knees. So lift up a little bit if it's too strong on your knees. Good. Come back to center and really lifting from the pelvic floor up and press the heels. Nice work. All right, turn the feet to the front. Reach the arms out from the shoulders. Turn the right foot out at 90 degrees and wiggle the feet a little bit further apart, this time for Virabhadrasana 2. Bend the right leg. And like we did before, we're going to warm up to this posture by swaying or reaching from side to side. And again, the hips are dropping. So here it's really important to have that internal muscular lift, pelvic floor, lower front abdomen, reaching from side. Feeling the groundedness of the feet, strong leg. Good. We're going to take the right arm out as far as you can. And the left arm is holding for a moment. And then reverse that. Take the left arm all the way back and turn your whole torso to look at your left arm. And then just your head to look at your right arm. Good. So the hips are lowering, but the core is lifting. The shoulders are up. Good. Energizing the body with the breath. Come back to center, turn the feet to the front, and then all the way around. Bending the left leg this time. Taking the arms out from the shoulders and reaching from side to side. We're warming up the body, but also our awareness. Awareness of the movement, of the strength required in the legs to stay balanced, stay in this position. And that lift of the core of the body, pelvic floor, lower belly, so that we protect the spine. And the spine is developing strength as well. Feeling the vital breath. All right, now really reach with your left arm. And now really reach back with your right arm. Turn your whole torso to look back over your right arm. And then just your head to look over your left. And we're in warrior 2. So the hips drop down, but the core is lifting. The shoulders are relaxed. And the body is energized by the breath. Nice work. Come back up to center. Good. This time, turn the feet to the front. Turn the toes in. And then we're going to take the arms up and look up. And as you exhale, bring the fingertips in front of the hip crease. We're going to hinge forward and feel that back bend shape. Maybe you can put your hands down onto your legs, or they might reach the floor. So strong legs, lift the kneecap, sit bone, but easy spine. Easy spine. Good. And before we lift, we want to engage the pelvic floor, lift it into the core of the body, the lower front abdomen, bring the hands back in front of the hips. You might have to bend your knees to get an easeful lift for the spine. Lifting. Nice work. Now we're going to sit down and I'm going to stamp my feet in. My whole house wobbles when I do that. Stamp my feet in and then sit down, however you would like to sit. I think I've lost a bit of ground in sitting down with ease. No matter, we'll keep trying. All right, take a blanket and sit that underneath you. Now, whatever is comfortable here, your legs, simple cross legs, or you might have your legs out semi-wide, might need your knees a little bit bent. Whatever helps you to keep your spine lifting with ease, or as much as ease as you can have. Good. And we're just going to make circles with the ribs around the pelvis. Really nice one for tuning in to the spine, to the muscle, either side of the spine. Maybe there's some tight spots or might be a little bit sore. Being kind, having compassion, other direction. But also enjoying all those tiny little movements. And back to center. And we're going to go from side to side. And so reach out to your right side, put your right hand down and reach your left arm overhead. Get a nice big stretch in the left side of the body. And reach a little bit further, even stretch the left rib, but then lift your spine, your arm into a straight line. And then reach down again so you get that nice big stretch in the left side. Use the core awareness to lift back up into a straight line. And one more. Because we're moving sideways, we're using more of those core muscles at the side of the body. Good. Change your legs to other direction if they were crossed. Good. Let's do just circles of ribs around the hips again. Doesn't have to be a really big movement. And it's a big massage for the gut, so you only go in a way that's comfortable there. And then the other direction. Certainly not one to do on a full stomach. Good. And now we're going to lean over to the left side and put the left hand down and reach the right arm over or by your ear, your right ear. Okay, so now we're going to really reach and in fact stretch the right ribs open. But then we're going to use the core awareness, squeezing the pelvic floor, the abdomen, to lift back up so that you're still leaning to the left, but you're in a straight line, your spine, your arm. Good. And then lean further to the left so that your right rib up. Good. And then squeeze pelvic floor, have core awareness. What muscle help you lift back up into a straight line and support the work of the spine? Good. And one more of those. A nice breathe. And then core awareness, lifting safely. And then nice work. And we're going to lay down. Feet hip width parallel. Put your left heel on your right knee. We did this one last week, but I'm going to go again. Such a good one for easing stiffness from the hip. So you hold
your legs in as close to your chest as is practical. And people hold in different places depending on movement and arm length. I can reach to hold the front of my right knee, so that's a convenient hold. Whatever hold, you're keeping your shoulders relaxed. And the movement as we breathe is to bring the right knee a little closer to the right chest and the left knee from the left shoulder. Pay attention to the resistance in the body. Respect the breath. Find the energizing breath. Good, and then release that side. Feet go down onto the floor. Right heel, left knee, and then lifting the leg up. So again, finding a hold that will feel convenient, can even be closing. So I'm holding in front of my left knee and trying to move the left knee a little closer to the left chest, left shoulder, and the right knee a little away from the right shoulder. Really good posture to come up close to the stretch reflex of the body, our protective stretch reflex. To notice where the body says that's enough. There is a limit. That limit. But also prepared to follow the potential of the breath. Good. And then releasing that side. Take the arms straight out from your shoulders. The inside edges of the feet together and knit together. We're going to lift the hips and swing them left and take the knees onto the floor on the right. And you're going to look over your left shoulder. We get that lovely spinal. You then bring core awareness to this posture. We're going to try and squeeze the pelvic floor, the lower front abdomen, and the side core, and lift the feet just a tiny bit off the floor. And if you can tell that your body needs to rest rather than lift, then put your feet back on the floor. To lift the legs all the way back up to center, really use that core awareness. And swing the hips to the right and the legs go down to the left. You face over your right arm. Good. And you can be passive here. Really aware now of the core of the body, pelvic floor, muscles of the deep abdomen as you try and lift your feet just off the floor. Your body needs to rest. Your feet back down.
And then using your core awareness to lift your legs back up to the center and hug your knees into your chest. Walking a little bit from side to side. You may have time in your day to lay down in your own shavasana. Yeah, namaste. And you may need to finish your practice as I do. You'll roll gently to your right side and come up to sitting. Mm. Bring your hands in front of the heart. The feeling of namaste.